And I told him it was my turn to buy the drinks. So I ordered the drinks and he brought them over and he told me the price of them. And I said, well, you know, I said, you can take these freaking drinks and pour them down a drain as far as I'm concerned. I'm not paying you this for that much for these drinks. He got all pissed off.
Because he knew.
And I said, well, if you don't like it, I said, where's your phone at? And I said, I'll call the MPs and have them come down and we'll set this straight. He changed his fucking tune right quick. But we left. We never went in another fucking bar after that.
You were on his tune.
Huh?
You knew what they were doing.
Well, sure we did. I did. Because we was warned. That every time you went in a bar, there'd be all kinds of girls come over. And there
So
was.
did you ever pay for a girl when you were over there?
No.
I didn't either. Seen plenty of them, but I never.
No, they were around all kinds of.
Who were you waiting for, Norma?
I guess.
How often did she write you letters?
Well, I never got a letter from her.
What do you mean?
I'd never hardly talked to her before. No, I'd never went with her.
So did you meet Mom before you went to Korea?
No.
After you went to Korea? I thought you knew her before you went to Korea.
No. It was, I got my mustard and I'll pay and drank that all up and partied and started back to work, and that's when I met her.
So when did you meet Mom?
When I was starting back to work, we drank all of our mustard and I'll pay. We had to go back to work.
Where did you go back to work at?
Miller.
In Miller.
Yeah.
So where did you meet Mom at?
On the main street in Miller. She was walking home from the cafe to where her apartment was.
Was she intoxicated or
No.
were you intoxicated?
No. Me and John's buddy, Victor Paulovich, we was running around drinking a beer and telling stories and I said, pull over here. She was walking down the street, so Victor pulled over. I asked her for a date. Well,
So what'd you say to her?
I don't know what the hell I said.
You want to go out for a date or?
Yeah, I guess.
Where'd you take her?
I don't know where the hell I took her. It was hard to tell. Probably in the alley.
In the alley? In the back seat of a car?
No, it was, I knew of her before I went. She worked in the cafes all the time in Miller.
Mom did?
Yeah.
Was she a waitress?
Yeah.
Did you know Shirley? Did Robert?
Yeah.
Did Mom and Shirley know each other or not?
No. No, when I come home, Robert was in Alaska.
That's where he was in the Army at.
Yeah, and so Shirley and Sharon, they always come to me if they wanted to go to the bar. They knew I'd protect them. So
were you a badass then, or?
one night, We was in the bar and fucking Bobby Hanks. He was always in my goddamn face. He come in and he was screwing around with Shirley, and I jumped his fucking ass. I said, "You lay a hand on her, I'll break your fucking neck."
So did you?
No. He took the hint, got the fuck out of there. And I said, "I don't ever want to see you set the fucking booth with her until Robert gets back. Use it on you."
Oh, so Robert was coming back from Alaska,
Yeah.
and him and Shirley,
Got married then.
but him and Shirley were an item. Before that,
In what?
him and Shirley were an item before Robert got out of the service, or?
They had been going with each other all the time before he went to service.
Oh, okay.
But she lived clear up north somewhere.
Yeah, by Hurlachek's farm.
Never went to the dance one time in St. Lawrence.
Where was that at?
In St. Lawrence. Down
We're at in St. Lawrence.
the park.
Oh, down below.
And I was dancing with Vera, and this son of a bitch and Hank's got on me again. And I said, "Bobby, you little son of a bitch," I said, "you step on my feet or bump into me again, I'm gonna fucking deck you." And he kept on. He bumped me again, and I drug his fucking ass outside. And then I was just ready to plow him, and that fucking low crow grabbed my arm, kept me from hitting him. I fucking decked him real good. And Low held me there, and they got Bobby out of the way and took him home or something. That was the end of it. We was always good friends after that. And I cussed that goddamn little crow so bad, he only had one arm.
So did you ever get your ass whooped?
You know, I told Low, I said, "You son of a bitch," I said, "the little cocksucker's been picking on me ever since I got out of the service. I wanted to fucking clean his squad." And then you step in there, and he was like a fucking bull.
And he only had one arm?
Yeah, he only had one. Oh, my son.
So how'd he fight?
Oh, he could fucking punch you pretty hard with that one arm. He was Bud Mosier's brother-in-law, I think it was. Lowell was. He got his damn arm cut off in a corn picker, I think it was.
In a power takeoff?
No, we got him in the husking rollers or something. Yeah, nobody messed with Low Crow. He was
What was his name?
Lowell.
Lowell?
Low Crow. He lived down McGann Valley, and they were a bunch of tough son of a bitches.
Were they farmers?
Yeah, their folks were. There was quite a few of them crows. But he married Ida's sister. I can't think which one.
Who's Bud and Ida, or
Yeah.
what was Bud and Ida's? Bud and Ida.
Mosier.
Bud Mosier.
Yeah.
Okay.
They all kind of run it. And Mosier's those army bastards too.
So were the Petermans ornery bastards back then too?
Well, some of them were.
Who was some of them?
Darryl, he never fought. He was chicken shit. I don't know whether Robert ever.
So who was the toughest one out of your family?
I don't know. John probably was. No, I don't think John ever. He got along with everybody.
So you were the tough one.
I might have been.
You were the ornery one.
Nobody run over me, I know that. I could take shit about so long,
Yeah.
it was over. I didn't ask no questions, I just decked them. I took this one guy out back of a bar one night. He come out of the theater and he was calling me all kinds of nasty cuss words. I walked up to him. He was still cussing me, and I grabbed that son of a bitch by his shirt and I fucking started shaking him. And I said, if you want to call me some fucking words, you come out back in the fucking alley and you call me some dirty names back there.
Where was the alley at? Get down, Cass.
Back of the bars. And we went back there and he started in and I fucking decked him. Then there was a culvert there. Oh, it was probably about that big. I tried stuffing the fucker in that.
What were you stuffing him in the culvert for?
I don't know. I'd get rid
Just
of
get rid of him?
Yeah. Well, Kenny Heckelival. And I hit one of them Steinleitners one time over there in Highmore. I had all good clothes on, white shirt, dress pants, everything.
Who were you meeting?
Probably my girlfriend.
Who was that?
I don't know. I had quite a few of them over there. But
What were their names?
oh, I can't think of them.
Oh, the bullshit. Who was your favorite girlfriend
I don't know.
besides Norma?
Cassie, down.
I never had too many favorite ones. I shit canned them all before I went in the army. I didn't want nobody bothering me. If they wanted to get married, get married. Adios.
Adios. Adios, amigos.
But this goddamn Steinleitner, he was buck-toothed and cross-eyed and everything else.
Did he look like Roger Comstock?
Kind of. But he come up and he said, hello, Walter, and drug his fucking hands down my white shirt and his fingerprints was on it. Oh, that pissed me off. I turned around and I hit that son of a bitch. And it had just rained. And he went face first in the freaking gutter.
Is that the one you stuffed in the gutter?
No,
Oh,
it's another one. Old Steinleitner, he sucked up a lot of water before he got come to. And he never bothered me after that, though.
so why'd you fight all these guys? You kind of sound like Jerry Summers.
They pissed me off,
So do you have a short temper?
kind of.
Who taught you that? Harley or
I don't know.
Uncle John?
John never bothered too many, I don't think. Not that I ever knew of. He always played in a band.
With his accordion or...
Yeah.
Well, and he learned how to play that accordion by himself, didn't
Yeah,
he?
by ear.
By ear.
He never had no lessons.
He never had a lesson or anything, and he could play the accordion.
That's impressive.
He could follow guys in the band. They would start, and he'd pick up, and he would, you'd never
Polka
know.
and everything. And he would always tap his foot too,
Yeah.
wouldn't he, with the music. Yeah.
Well, he was in with Max Hargens and all them guys. They had a band, Max did. And John and them Hargens, they all hitched together.
Where'd they play at?
Well, all kinds of, they went all
Down at all of the little
dance
dance halls.
Yeah, all over.
how often did you guys meet down at the dance halls and stuff? Every Friday night, or?
Well, most of the time they had Friday and Saturday nights. They had
Did you-
dances Saturday nights mostly.
Is that where you took Norma
Well, sometimes, yeah.
or your other girlfriends?
I don't know. Didn't give a shit.
Huh?
I didn't give a shit where they were.
Who were you worried about?
I wasn't worried about it.
All right, should we play pitch? You want to get?
She was going with another guy when I met her.
Oh.
Who was Norma? Was?
Yeah, I knew him. I'd run around with him before I went over to Korea. Him and his brother, Dale Rediger, they were all related.
So the guy Mom was going with was a Rediger,
No, he was a Schweitzer.
a Schweitzer.
So we went together for a while, and I decided, well, there's no use in me going with her any longer. We gotta find out if we're gonna go together or if she's gonna stay with Schweitzer or what. So I approached her that night and I said, if you want to go with me, you're gonna tell Don that you're gonna go with me, and I want to know who you're going with, and that I let you know. So I said, take your time, don't get in a hurry. I said 2, 3, 4 weeks, whatever. So I just quit going with her, and she finally hollered and told me that
What'd she say to you?
she told me that she'd give Don's mom back her pictures and his pictures and stuff. And I said, well, that's fine. I said, I don't want to cause trouble because I know Don and his family and all the Redigers and one of my teachers was married to one of the Merle Schweitzer, and so I didn't want to cause any problems. They was nice people. So she gave her pictures back and broke up with him.
She give what?
Pictures back.
Oh,
Pictures,
pictures.
yeah.
Okay.
I know, well, he had 4 years in the Navy. I don't know, I imagine he was still in the Navy when we got married, I don't know.
How old were you when you guys got married?
Well, I was 54.
Where was your wedding at?
Gilbert York Hall.
Gilbert York Hall? Where's that at from Miller?
Gilbert York, out by Burdett,
Oh, up by
south
Burdett.
of Burdett.
Okay. How many people were there?
Oh, there's quite a few. Herb had,
Herb Comstock?
he was the overseer of the Gilbert York Hall. And he got us the hall for pretty reasonable. And all them goddamn Hurlicheks was there. You talk about a bunch of honest son of a bitches. I called Larry Hurlichek's dad a bullhunk. Holy shit, I thought he was gonna kill me.
Oh, Bohunk?
Yeah, I don't even know what it meant, but he let me know, don't call me a bullhunk again.
What's Bohunk mean?
I don't know.
It must mean something in...
It was naughty.
Yeah.
Larry grabbed his dad and told him that I was Robert's dad.
A bow hunk.
But if that son of a bitch had a hand on him, it was way bigger than both of my hands. Well, Larry had a arm and a hand on him too.
Yeah.
He was a big son. They were tough.
Well, I know all the Hurlacheks are pretty tough.
Yeah.
And I think we got a little Hurlachek blood in us too.
Larry and Ed, and they wasn't too ornery though. I think we got in some fights. They run around Wilbur following all the time.
So when did you start fishing? When did you start
But I'm about 12, 13 years old.
were you fishing out in the creek or
Up there at Cottonwood Lake,
Cottonwood?
at the south edge of the lake by that bridge.
Yeah.
Vera and Herb lived just east of that bridge a ways on the north
Vera
side.
and Herb did?
Yeah,
Okay. Well, that's where Charles and I and Dan,
yeah,
Charles put his truck out there and his headlights,
yeah.
and we were on a little bridge, and Vera and Herb lived right south of that,
No,
or they lived
straight-
north.
Straight east.
But we threw the lures out there, and it's like, holy shit, these walleyes. Well, Dan Smith had that walleye. It went right underneath that bridge on the other side of the road
Well, they never
and
had
snapped his line.
never had any walleyes in there when me and Dad. It was bullheads and crappies probably.
Well, where were we at?
That's where Dad about threw the game warden in the water one day.
What did he
He
check?
asked me for my fishing license, and I said, I haven't got a fishing license. I'm not old enough. And he started arguing with me and pissed Dad off. He said, you calling him a liar and me a liar? He said, you old son of a bitch. He said, you better get out of here before I throw you in a friggin' lake.
What was he gonna do to him?
We never seen Adam Moore anymore.
What was his name?
Adam Moore. Yeah, he was Dad was gonna throw his ass in. He run him out of the yard at the farm one time with a neck yoke.
With a neck yoke. What's a neck yoke?
Goes
For a
across the
horse?
horses.
Oh,
He grabbed that neck yoke, told him, he said, you son of a bitch, you get off my property and do it quick before I use this. John had skunks out there in cages, and they were out there nosing around.
Wonder what they were out there nosing around.
It was illegal to have them skunks.
What good's a skunk?
Well, John skinned them and sold the hides for
Money?
$3 or $4 a piece. Dad was pissed off because the kid was out there trying to make some friggin' money instead of running the streets and causing all kinds of trouble. And them other bastards was stealing and doing everything they could.
Who was the other bastards?
Well, just guys around Miller is worthless. They were stealing money, and that's the way they lived. John he hunted and trapped and everything else. Me and him trapped for 2 or 3 years.
Well, you guys used to run trap lines
Yeah.
before school.
Before school and after school.
Were you on horses or?
Yeah. Yeah, we got that one winter. We got some piss and mink you couldn't believe.
Mink, they're kind of scarce, aren't they?
Well, they wasn't then. We got some mink that was $300 a piece.
oh wow.
Some of them was $4, I think.
$300 back then?
You bet.
Wow.
That was That was good son of a bitch of money.
So what'd you do with all that money? Spend it on Norma?
John bought Christmas presents with it and stuff. That's how we made our Christmas money.
So what'd you do for Christmas presents?
Just whatever we had money for, that was it. But we always had a big Christmas. They spent a lot of money, bought a lot of shit.
Who had the Christmases?
Oh, Dad and Mom.
Harley and Eva?
Yeah,
Where'd you have those at?
out there by Bob Robertson's. Up there down below the hill there on where the silo was, that big barn.
I don't know where that was.
10-mile road and 2 east, or 1 east, I mean. And then south a ways, the old home place.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Christmas was a big thing. You know, there's 9 of us. Holy shit!
Well, there was 9 of you kids.
I don't know how they come up with money enough.
How big was your house that you lived in, or
Well,
who slept with each other?
There was 3 rooms upstairs. And, Dad and Mom slept downstairs, and there was a bedroom back in the lower part. But we always went upstairs, everybody.
How'd you heat it?
An oil burner.
With wood
No,
or just oil?
oil.
Where'd you get the oil?
Stove fuel from, well,
Didn't it stink?
yeah, the Standard Oil guy brought it out and put it in tanks. We'd have to drain it out tank and into a 5-gallon can, take it in and dump it in the stove. Yeah, it was a nasty son of a bitch a mess.
So you have what, an 8th grade education? Oh, I don't know how did you go to school every day?
We walked,
How far?
well, about 3/4 of a mile. We never missed a day either. Dad, when it got winter time, he would come down the road and meet him at the halfway mark. He had blankets. He'd put over the girls and us put over our heads. We'd hang on to him and line up and follow him home
And just stay warm.
to keep warm, yeah. The girls was always freezing their fingers and their faces and noses. And,
Sissies.
yeah, pansy, yeah.
Yeah. They have dresses on,
Most of the time, homemade,
so that wind went right up their dresses.
probably. And most of their dresses was homemade dresses.
Who made those?
Mom,
Eva?
out of flour sacks and stuff like that. Whatever they could find. Well, look at that picture I got over there with that Model T.
Yeah.
Dresses and stuff Ruth and them had on.
Yeah. Yeah, they weren't very elegant, were they?
No, they didn't.
So, how often did you guys take a bath?
Oh, once a month.
What'd you wear for underwear?
No, we took a bath in a round tub. In the summertime, we'd fill that up and it'd get hot with the sun. There'd be about 5 of us take a bath in that water.
In the same water.
Yeah. Then we'd get in, the rest of them would get in another tub.
What'd you do if you pooped your pants?
We'll throw it in the friggin' water. I full, I don't know.
How many times you have to do that?
The wash machines we had a little son of a bitch invisible motor on it with a kickstand. You kick that son of a bitch to get it started. Half the time it quit about the middle of the wash. Then Mom would have to take the handle, start going like this.
The ringer.
The dasher would turn. That was work.
Well, remember when we first moved here to Iowa, Mom had that wash machine that had that
I
arm,
know it.
and you'd get your arm caught in there,
Fucker was dangerous.
and that son of a bitch would catch your arm in there and just pull your arm right straight through with all of the laundry, and it would sit there and rub.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
I mean, it'd almost take your head through too. And
Yeah,
then Mom would have to release that and lift that arm up to get your arm out of there.
they got their boobs caught in it a few times too.
Who did? Who had that big of boobs?
Norma and
Maxine didn't have that big of boobs.
no, she didn't have nothing.
How big were Grace's? Did
Warts. Whose?
Grace's? Did Grace have big boobs?
Oh, yeah, not real big.
You guys are bad.
Poor old Grace.
Oh, poor old Grace. Yeah.
I got that card for her and Sandy.
Just the other day.
Oh,
They're always giving me shit.
Yeah. We ought to call them tonight.
I like Grace better than Judy.
Don't judge.
Myself.
Don't judge people.
Huh?
Don't judge people.
I know.
Judy is
I
a
get-
tremendous
I
person.
like her too.
Yeah.
My favorite's Grace.
Well, all of the first ones. What do you think about Jack and Anita?
Well, I don't know.
Anita was a good shit.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah. Yeah.
She had some French ways though.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was things had to go her way or Jack got tired of her. They'd come over to my place and Jack would come in, she'd sit out there in the car, would come in. And I let her sit there about so long and I went out to that car, opened that freaking door up and I said, get your freaking ass out of this car and come in the house. Or if you don't, get in the goddamn car and go back home. I'll bring Jack home. And she got out, come in the house, and she never pulled that shit again on us either. Yeah, them French ones, boy, they were different girls. Marion's brother married one. She was just like Anita. It was all French. If there was a Frenchman around, us guys didn't count.
So tell us some of your hunting stories.
No, I just play cards. I'm tired of them.
Tell us about your hunting stories
Oh, yes.
with your 30-30 rifle and
do you want some fruit pizza,
no,
Greg?
I'm done.
I don't think I do right now.
I better not try.
You didn't even hardly eat any of that
That's
pizza.
what I
or-
want to do.
I know. I might
Yeah,
have
you're
some
good.
of that after bed.
He's good.
Oh.
So how old were you when you started hunting?
Huh?
How old were you when you started hunting?
Oh shit, I don't know. I started following Dad and the neighbor kid around, and I couldn't even carry a gun. I would go with them, jackrabbit hunting and coyote hunting, till I froze my feet. I froze my goddamn feet harder than rock. Couldn't even get my socks off, they was froze.
What did it feel like when they thawed out?
It fucking hurt.
It hurt like a bitch, didn't it? Bring tears to your eyes.
Mary Robertson was a nurse, and she got me, and she went outside and got 2 pans full of snow. She stuffed my goddamn feet in the snow, and got it.
Because they were thawing out too fast.
Yeah, and she got my socks off. Oh man, I laid there with my feet up in the air for a month. My feet hurt so
For a
bad.
month?
My toes, big toes are that big around probably.
Bigger than your pecker?
Probably. Oh, that son of a bitch hurt. Whew. And it never did affect my feet. I went clear through the service and never had no foot problems at all. I was lucky.
Yeah, you were lucky.
Yeah, we got way over there by Ewald Birch's from our home place. We'd walked
Over where?
way over west, about 2 or 3 miles from home, and I fell through the ice and got my boots full of water.
Yeah.
And the farther I walked, the slower I got. My feet was freezing. And if I'd had another mile to walk, they'd have been dragging me because I was
You
Well-
fell through a pond?
creek over there by Ewald Birch's, that Wolf Creek. You cross it on the St. Roch Road there.
What were you doing over there?
Hunting
Oh, pheasant or?
cottontails and
Oh,
coyotes. We had 2 hounds with us. But they say you will start to freeze and you just gradually freeze up and stop moving.
well, yeah, hypothermia.
Yeah. And I was getting pretty close to that. Bill, the neighbor, Bill Robertson, his neighbor kid, he was hanging on to me, and he was probably kind of pulling me.
Dragging you?
Yeah. Well, so I ended my hunting that year.
What was the first gun you ever owned?
Shoot, I don't know, probably 22. I bought that after when I got out of the service. No, before I went in service. I was staying with, no, it was after I got out. I was staying at Helen Heine there in Miller. And the rabbits was thicker than shit. And you could go out, just drive down the road and shoot them with 22 out the window. Helen would take her side and I'd take mine.
Did Helen have a gun too?
Yeah, she fucking never missed either.
Helen never missed?
No,
Oh, Deadeye.
she could right through the eye every time. That's all you could see sticking out of the snow. They'd peek her head up. You could see that little bitty eye. She could pour it right in there.
Just driving down the gravel
I
road.
give $40 for that 22 automatic. And I paid,
Is that the same one you have now?
yeah, I paid for it in 2 nights. Just driving down the road shooting.
So what'd you get? Did you get like
35, 40 cents a piece out of rabbits.
out of a rabbit?
But them road ditches was lined with jackrabbits, buried in the snow. Bitches. But that was John's source for a long time. Him and Dad hunting jackrabbits. He bought a lot of stuff from money he made jackrabbits.
Yeah.
Go out one night and get 2 55-gallon barrels clear full of rabbits, and the back seat of the Model A would be full.
What about fox hunting?
Well, they hunted foxes every weekend.
And what'd you use to communicate? Did you use
Nothing.
mirrors?
Nothing.
I thought you used mirrors.
Signals with the hand. You didn't, when one got up, you didn't have time to do nothing. Drive that friggin' car.
And did all of the farmers up there take all the fences down and shit so you guys could just chase them? Or remember that 55 Ford?
Yeah. No, they never, we kind of hunted areas where there wasn't any fences. Once in a while, we'd get into a fence. Oh, shit.
You ready to play cards?
Yeah.
All right.